Greetings, eBay purchaser. I am the illustrious eBay seller, he who walks the sky 973, and this is the brief version of the tutorial I'm going to give you on how to navigate your newly purchased modified Phat PS2. Now, basically, it's real easy, but something like eBay, I would have had to type forever in order to give you an explanation. Whereas the YouTube link, I can just show you how to do it real quick. So let me switch the camera over. Okay, I said let me switch the camera over. Alright, so I have successfully switched the camera over. Now, this is what you get. Now, mind you, it says free make boot. There's no memory card in there. So, all the stuff is saved to the hard drive. Now, for those purchasing a PlayStation off of me, I have a memory card, a free make boot memory card that's already done for you, so you don't have to do any work. It's ultra, just plug and play and go through, and you're Gucci. But if you want to not use that hard drive and create your own hard drive from scratch, I have all the software required on your USB thumb drive that's provided for you. So, boom. This is what you'll get the moment you turn your PlayStation on. It'll look like this. You got browser, regular browser, system configuration, ULaunch F. Now, ULaunch F is what you're going to need if you're going to add, if you're going to do your own hard drive from scratch and add the cover arts, and which I'm not going to give a full detailed tutorial on that. I'm not going to do that until I get my actual YouTube setup going, but I will refer you to another YouTuber who's covered all of this in full detail by the name of Mr. Mario 2011. He's been doing tutorials on this. So the tutorials he have is on how to create your free make boot card and how to freaking add games using WinHip. I'll give you a brief a brief summary on how to do that in a few when I divert everything over to my computer. But as for now, we're gonna show you what you need to go to. So don't worry about ULaunch Elf yet. You got this. You got OPL Codebreaker, which is basically it's a open loader that it will launch Codebreaker first. And then let's say you got some games on there you want to use some cheats for. You pick your cheats. You'll use it as if you're using a regular Codebreaker, but it's not the systems that I'm selling have no laser deck or laser drive inside of them. So you don't have to worry about that. Everything is strictly digital. All right. So you got that if you want to use codes. You got Open PS2 loader. You don't have this. Don't worry about launch this because again, it's no laser deck in it. Well, in my personal one it is, but the ones that I'm selling, all digital. There's no laser deck. So you can add one if you would like. If you want to get ultra technical, you can open it up. You can put the disk drive back in there, and you can put the laser deck back in there and all that if you choose to, but it's not necessary. All right, so okay, you got the configurator and the reload configuration. So if you have a configuration saved already, you could just that's saved to your memory card or your thumb drive, you could just reload it using that. But let's get to the main purpose. Open PS2 loader. Yeah, and I'm doing this with my phone, by the way, so it's not like ultra YouTube quality. It's sweet and brief. I'm going to try to make this as sweet and brief as possible and easily to understand as possible. All right, so boom. So the way I have the systems that I'm selling configured, this is what it should do. It should go directly to the games. And I think I configured that for all the systems. If I didn't, it's going to be like press circle to go to the game list. If it says that, just press circle to go to the game list. See, these are all the games that I got on mine. And look at okay, I got the cover arts too. Now the cover arts, I think Mr. Mario have a tutorial on the cover arts as well. I'll do one down the line, but this is like the sweet abridged version. So for any potential customers who want to buy one of my systems that's already done and everything. So boom, you go to it, and then as you see, run. So you would press X to run the game. You don't have to worry about settings so far because I personally configured settings on the ones that I'm selling that works. So I did all of that already. But all of them are updated with the latest OPL anyway. They're all updated with the latest one. And the latest one, if you played a game, if you played a game like Darkstalkers Collection and Alpha Anthology, you would be greeted by the regular screen, and then the moment you tried to play the game, it would just stay stuck because you had to do something called a cold boot, which you would have to have launched the open loader from launch in order to achieve a cold boot. But with the latest one, you don't have to do that. So let me show you what I mean. Oh, let me go to Alpha Anthology. I have a lot of games on. I have a 1 terabyte, so it shouldn't take that long. No, that's not. I need Alpha Anthology. Right here. Okay, Alpha Anthology. So boom. It's gonna load up. Oh fuck! Drop my controller. Okay, it's gonna say that, but it's no error. Okay. I don't have my memory card in, so I'm not saving any of this. Okay. Press start. Yeah, my start button is trash on this controller. See, the official Sony one. But my start button, I gotta press dumb hard. Alright, so we're gonna load, just for the sake of everything, Alpha 3. See, and it loads right up. Now, on the older version, the version before this, the older version of OpenLoader, if you like with the older version of OpenLoader, it wouldn't have loaded. It would have stayed stuck. But with the latest one, it comes right on. Okay, now get you to the arcade, bam. Everything Gucci. Hold on, let me do the in-game reset real quick. Okay, that took me back there. Okay, so I'll just do a regular ass reset. This is the system. This is my personal one, but I did them all the same way. So, nice and boom. All right, so that's how you get to the games and access them. I'm gonna stop real quick because I know how to merge the video, so that's not an issue. So I'm gonna go to the PC aspect of things real quick. See, when you boot it up, free McBoot, but everything is on the hard drive. See, no memory card in there, but I have a memory card included. So just in case you want to make your own free McBoot hard drive or make other free McBoot memory cards, you got everything. Everything is provided in order for you to do it yourself as well. Like I prefer it on the hard drive, but not everybody prefer it like that. All right, give me a second. Let me grab my but I will give you guys one quick look at where you would go to install this stuff yourself. Okay, I think I have a backup of it on this thumb drive. See, you guys whoever purchased one from me, you'll get a thumb drive with all the files required. You can hook it up to the PS2, PC, whatever. All right, so boom, I'm gonna put it in. Yeah. Oh, wrong way. I love flipping it 3 times. That's how you know you're putting it in correctly. There, it is now inserted. All right, we pick up the controller and well, we got blurry. All right, we back. All right, so we're going to go to ULaunch ELF. Now in ULaunch ELF, stuff is reversed. So instead of pressing X to confirm, you would press circle to confirm, and X would be to go back, and triangle would be to go up go up a folder or down a folder. Okay, this is what ULaunch ELF. Now you would press circle to go to file browser, and most of you could put those files on the memory card if you got a big one. If you got like a I provide 128 megabyte, but I prefer to have everything on the USB thumb drive because it's simpler, and you'll get sometimes you'll be confused. You'll get corrupted data. They fix that to a certain extent. In the latest version, it'll be it'll say it'll be like a OPL icon, and you can put all the files in there. But since I provided a thumb drive, I preferred to do it on the thumb drive. So you would select mass, that's thumb drive, press circle, and we see where it says PS2 files, PS2, HD PC2s, everything is labeled and folded. Press circle, and to make your own FreeMake boot, you would go to FreeMake boot install, press circle, and then you would press circle on the installer ELF file. And this is what you get. Now from here, it's pretty self-explanatory, but again, I'm just giving you the general idea of what to do. See, this is for install if you're installing it to the memory card. Now, if you're installing it to the hard drive, okay, you see, okay, you press R1 to go over. You see where it says install FHDB? That's free HD boot. That means it will install to the hard drive and not the memory card. But this menu, the stuff will install to the memory card and not the hard drive. All right, so I'm not going to install anything because all of this stuff is done. But this is what it looks to the individuals who are purchasing from me. This is what, to look for. I'm going to press exit. Now, okay, and once you get in here, everything is back to normal. X is to confirm and circle is to cancel. I'm going to quit. Now, remember, and another valid point you would need to know, if you're making this from let's say you doing a hard drive from scratch with the stuff provided that I sell to you, you want to make sure that the official Sony memory card that I provided, you want to make sure you're using that memory card and not the high capacity one that I bought off of Amazon. Don't worry, if you bought one off me, all the files everything is done for you. The moment you put the memory card in, that's going to come up. But that's only if you're making one from scratch. If you're going to keep the hard drive with the games on it that I provided for you, you don't have to do any of that. You just turn it on, play. But if you want to build one from the ground, if you want to build one from scratch, make your own hard drive, add your own games, then you want to make sure that official 8 megabyte Sony memory card is in. Make sure your thumb drive is in. Make sure the thumb drive. The only reason I ain't show it here because mine is done already, and I don't want to mess up my I don't think I have a backup of my settings. So the moment I put I have a action replay memory card with my backup free MC boot stuff on it, but I got everything on the hard drive now, so I don't want to accidentally mess up my settings. But yeah, you put the official Sony memory card in, you put in the thumb drive, and after you do that, it'll come. You go to ULaunch, and then you can run that program that I just ran, and you can make your own hackable You can make your own hackable hard drive. Either you could go the hard drive route or make it the free MC boot with the memory card. I prefer the hard drive because you get both. Upon doing the free HD boot way, you get both of your memory card slots. And let's say you play a crap ton of games, right? And you separate what games you have on what memory card. That's convenient. But if you're going the free MC boot route, it's just as good. But just remember, if everything is on that memory card, so just make sure none of those files are deleted, and make sure none of those files are deleted. And each and every time, if you go on the free MC boot route, you always have to have that memory card in to go into free MC boot mode. But if you don't have that memory card in, it goes to stock, which is cool if you want to go that route. All right, I'm going to take a brief stop and switch over to the PC aspect of things. All right, and we're back. This is the second part of my brief modded PlayStation Phat tutorial. All right, so this is my laptop. I'm charging up my Vita. All right, so now I'm going to plug up the same thumb drive that was plugged up into the PlayStation 2. I'm gonna look for a nice USB slot, which is right next to my charger Vita. We're plugged in. Okay, and then boom, you have PS2 files and HDD PC tools. You click on that, and you will have a backup of your cover arts. So whoever purchased a system for me, I have a backup of your cover arts inside of that thumb drive. So if anything ever happens, or you want to it's saved on there. It's saved on that hard drive. So here's another cool thing about it. Let's say you want to build your own free McBoot hard drive from scratch, and you want to you don't have to throw away the hard drive that I provided. Let's say you got a buddy that would a free HD modded blah blah blah. All right, all you would have to do is get another SATA network adapter, right? You would get another SATA network adapter. Those they run about anywhere between 22 to 27 bucks on Amazon, and around the same on eBay. Will give or take the shipping. You hook up that hard drive directly to the network adapter. You plug it into the PS2, and boom, that person has a free HD boot modified PS2. I think that's one of the coolest joints of it. So if you don't like the capacity, not even the games that I provided, like the size, if you want more space to add more games yourself, you can give that hard drive to a buddy and tell him to get his own network adapter. The moment you plug it in, boom, another modded PS2. All right, so let me give you a rundown. WinHip is the primary program I would say use, because WinHip you can batch install games. Like you can install more games than one. Like you can. I'll show you. I'll give you a hypothetically. Hold up. Make sure for best effects, if you're formatting the hard drive, you make sure you want to run as administrator. Yeah. You know how we bring this downstairs? All right, hold on, give me 1 second. All right, so you go here. All right, hold on. Quick pause, I'll be right. Okay, brief intermission, but I'm back now. Okay, now. Okay, so if there was a drive, a PS2 compact drive hooked up, you would go here, and it would come up, it would say PS2 in the parentheses, but since it's not no PS2 drive hooked up, it's not going to show you. But to make your own drive, you will go to let's see. Oh, it's not this. Okay, so you would select the drive, and then make sure it's an empty one, and make sure you don't pick any of your, if you're doing it with a laptop, make sure you don't select any drives with important stuff on it. So you would, let's say you had a blank drive. So you would pick that blank drive, All right, you would pick that blank drive, select it, and after you select it, it would give you the option. It would give you the option to format it. Or, okay, hold up. Hey, that's how you know I do this once in a while. Okay, yeah, so you would pick the drive. Okay? Of course not, because, yeah, but you would select the drive, and it would give you okay, right here. You see where it says when you select the drive, and it would say format. It wouldn't be grayed out. It would be dark, like you'll be able to do it. All right, so that's how you would make your own drive. If you want full in-depth detail until I'm able to have YouTube quality to give you that, go to Mr. Mario 2011. That's the guy who sometimes when I forget how to do this stuff, a trusty Mr. Mario video is always up there to give me a refresher course on how to do this type of stuff. Shout outs to Mr. Mario, man. All right, so yeah, so this is the primary program you would use to put the games on there, since you can do multiple games at the same time. Now, disclaimer, with WinHip, it has a 255 game limit. So if you're putting more games on that, if you're putting more games than that on the hard drive with WinHip, I've never seen this happen, but I've heard legendary stories on the internet about it. After you get past that 254th or that 255th game, it may break your partition. That means how your game list is organized. It may break your partition if you go past 255 games with WinHip. So I do not recommend it. I've never seen it happen, but again, I'm not going to say the people on the internet are capping, because a lot of them was pissed off when it happened to them. So WinHip is good for if you're doing multiple games at the same time, but don't go past 255 games with WinHip. If you need more, if you're trying to put more than 255 games, after you get to like the 253rd game to be safe, right? After that, you don't use WinHip. You use this program. You go over to HDL Disk Revision 47. All right. You would click on this one. You run it as administrator. And then it gives you that. Now, this, you can only install one game at a time, but if you've already made it past like the WinHip limit of 255 and you want to put more, after that 253rd or 254th game, you use this so you don't fuck up your partition. That's important. We don't like fucked up partitions. Fucked up partitions are not good partitions. So after that, you would use this. Also, if you would like to, if you got games that you got on your own collection or whatnot, you're not like scouring the games off the internet. If you're trying to like get them, or you have them already, but you want to put them on the hard drive to conserve your collection, you have the option to install it directly with the. All right, so if you have your own official PlayStation 2 games that you want to back up to a hard drive instead of playing them, and down the line, your laser is going to die. That's something you can't control. That's something that's inevitable. It's going to happen. So if you want to preserve your laser, okay, so you can also install games off of an external optical drive. Now, if you have a PC with an internal drive anyway, you could just put it in and rip the game. Me, I'll do this off of my laptop until I build my build. So right here, you can also do the same. You can also do the same thing in WinHip, but WinHip ain't gonna let you see anything until you have a PlayStation 2 formatted drive showing up. Like you can have it hooked up externally. That's how I did most of my installs. I had like an external enclosure put the hard drive in, did all the work. So that's primarily the way you're going to do this. So boom, you see where it says optical drive F? This is my optical drive F. So if I had a official burnt whatever PS2 game, I can put it in there. I can put it in there, and I can rip it with this. But since I have no store-bought games, everything that I got is in ISO format. I can't give you the full go through. But when I get this in YouTube level quality, trust me, I'll give you guys the full walkthrough and all that good stuff. Okay, but yeah. So remember, WinHip for multiple games. Oh yeah, you can also install games via network server. I tried that. It's slow. It's like, I thought it was gonna be faster than external, installing them via external hard drive. It's not. It's much slower. Like, you would need a Google Fiber level connection in order to see significant speed increases. You would have to have Google Fiber where you get 1 megabit per second, and that's the fastest that I can think of. Fios is close, but it's nowhere near faster than Google Fiber. But obscure places in America get Google Fiber, so I shouldn't even be talking about that shit since I can't even get it here. All right, so bam. Now for the cover arts, you want to get this program right here. You have it. Whoever bought a PlayStation off of me, you got all of this, so you Gucci. You would go to here. You would click this. I'll say on the safe side, run as administrator. So it could you run okay. If you have a PlayStation 2 formatted drive hooked up to your computer, you always want to run it as administrator, so that way the drive will show up. Now, to add the cover arts, you will go to local HD options. You will go to get game list. Now it'll scan the externally connected PS2 drive, and do what it does. And then once it shows up, it'll say something about an error, but it's not really an error. After it gives you the false error message, it'll go straight to your game list. Like, this is the last hard drive that I was working on, so it's gonna show the game list of what I was working on. So this was the one this was the 320 gig that I did. So bam. Now, if you want to, I think Mr. Mario covered this as well. So if you want a full in detail guide on how to do that, I'll link you guys to Mr. Mario as well, and I'll link you guys to Mr. Mario as well until I do the full in-depth one myself. But yeah, Mr. Mario did a full in-depth one as well. All right, so boom, that's everything. Like, whoever bought a station off of me, you got everything you need. You really don't have to scour the internet for nothing. I've done it all for you. And it reflects the price. Like, I think my price is reasonable considering that I did all of the work for those PlayStations. Like, I had to refurb them. I had to take out those broken laser decks. I had to clean them. Yes, they're professionally cleaned. I have a duster. I don't use the compressed air because you can't get a quality clean. So I took them entirely apart. I went over the main board with a paintbrush. So I went over it with a dry paintbrush to get the easy dust particles and the easy dust, and then I went behind it with a high velocity air blower that I bought off of Amazon. So they're clean. Now, as for the fans, now I don't know if you guys noticed, whoever played the PS2, if you're silent and you hear the PS2 fan, that shit is loud. So in my personal PS2, I went on ahead and did the Not To a Fan mod from eBay seller The Peaceful Outcome. He charges $34, but it pays for itself. If I cut my PS2 back on right now, you won't hear nothing except for the heat running in the background. That's it. But as for my PS2, you won't hear shit. Like, it's a mod that has a 3D printed bracket thingy with a Not To a Fan. That shit is silent. You don't hear nothing when you cut your PS2 on. Now, unfortunately, I didn't do these with the PS2s I'm selling because, again, however much more money I had to add, that's how much I would have to charge. So, that's just, that's just something you could think about. If you want to go that route, it's pretty easy to install. But if you got a friend who's like tech savvy who could do it for you, that's even better. But what I did provide for the PS2s that I'm selling, I use laptop hard drives. I use 2.5 inch SATA laptop hard drives. So upon using those smaller hard drives, I didn't want it to be tacky where it was just on the network adapter, and during transport that shit could like slide all around and break, and then I have, to deal with my eBay customers being upset with me that I didn't take care into packaging what they purchased from me. Nah, I bought the brackets from the piece. He sells 3D printed brackets as well. I purchased the 2.5 inch brackets from the Peaceful Outcome. So those drives inside of there do not move. They don't shake. You can hold the PS2 upside down and you won't hear no rattling. You won't hear no rattling in anything. Even though the 2.5 inch drives are smaller, that bracket is imperative in keeping them in place. Like I'm actually going to, I have a 1 terabyte 2.5 in mine. No, I have a 1 terabyte 3.5. I'm going to get a bracket. Now, actually, I don't have to get a bracket. I actually got, I forgot. I actually got drive rails for mine. I bought them a while back. I actually have drive rails for my personal PS2. But if you're upgrading to a 2.5 drive or a 3.5 drive, I recommend getting the brackets from the Peaceful Outcome. He's a good eBay seller. He's honest. He ships really fast. He's eco-friendly with his packaging, and he makes quality items. So there you go. All right. So I hope I got as much understanding. I hope I was able to grant you guys as much understanding as possible in my short allocated amount of time. I try to make it as sweet and brief as possible because I don't have like the YouTube means to go ultra YouTube with the super quality cameras. I'm not there yet, but I will be. But this is just helping those who purchase systems from me or who purchase some from other eBay sellers and gotten no explanation, because with eBay, I would have to type a fucking essay, and words, sometimes with certain things, words can't give you an explanation on how to do it. You have to see it. So I believe that's the best way to give an explanation when someone is spending a significant amount of money. So boom. All right. So there you go. That's it. So if my potential eBay buyers are watching this, any questions, you have me on eBay. Hit me up. I'll answer them to the best of my ability. All right. Well, there you go. Have a good day.